channel again. So today we're going to be working on an issue on a 2013 CTS coupe, all-wheel drive. So when you put it in reverse, it vibrates. You can just feel a vibration going through it. It's fine in drive, but when that's a bit of vibration, but it's very noticeable when you put it in reverse. Not when you're driving in reverse, just the act of having it in reverse and idle, it just shakes, vibrates. And so that's typically the driver's side motor mount. And so we're going to be changing that out today. And so we're going to do the left and the right at the same time. I ordered some new ones from over at Rock Auto. Paid about 20 some odd dollars for each one of them. Same part number for the left and for the right. They don't come with the heat shield. As stated in the instructions that on the website, reuse the heat shield that's currently on your car. So we're going to put these on there. They seem to be the driver's side. The passenger side one is supposed to be pretty easy. The driver's side one is supposed to be a pain. So we'll go through that and see how difficult it really is. If you guys don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I have other YouTubes out there for working on my other cars. And also on this CTS, I'm doing a few things on there. So if you do have that CTS coupe, or you may want to follow along. But this process will be the same for the CTS coupe and the CTS sedan. And I don't think it really matters if it's all-wheel drive or standard rear-wheel drive. All right, so now I have the CTS coupe up on jack stands to get ready to do the motor mounts. But first I want you to take a look at a video of this one where I'm showing you how you can visually tell if your motor mount is bad. You'll see me with the engine running, with my foot on the brake and with the other foot on the gas. I'm going to be putting gas on it as I switch between park or reverse and drive, and you'll see the driver's side of the engine lifting up. And that's a good way of knowing that your motor mount is broken. So take a look at the video, and then we'll get back and get this started. All right, one of the first things that we're going to want to do is remove these covers right here. You see now I've already taken the engine cover off, but we're going to be lifting up the engine, and we're going to need to lift it up more than this amount of space in here. So we have to remove this bar right here. And so we need to lift up these covers off of here on each side. And at that point, we'll have access to the bolts. We'll remove those, and then we'll start climbing underneath and get to work. Now with the covers removed, we have these two bolts on this side, and a nut and a bolt, and we have a nut and a bolt on this side as well. And I believe this is an 18 millimeter. And so we'll use that to get these removed. All right, now that we have that strut tower brace bar off, now what we're going to do is remove this tire and remove the liner back there from back there as well. This is the front driver's side tire. All right, now that we have the tire off, what we want to do is remove this liner. It says put one towards the rear, and this more felt kind of filling one right here. I don't think we need to remove that one. So it's probably a good idea for you guys to have one of these tools, so you can just get up in there and easily remove these out of here without damaging them. All right, now that we have the liner off, And it turns out that piece ended up coming off anyway, the front part of the liner with everything else, so it didn't matter. So for this driver's side motor mount, let's see if we can get a good picture of it. All right, so there we go right there. That is back there. Let me see if I can see that. That's the heat shield right there, and then this part is the actual mount. As you can see, it's helping you see about where we are. See your CV shaft right there, your CV axle going back there. And then you got your rack and pinion over here on this side. And there it is right there. So there's gonna be one bolt at the top, one bolt at the bottom. It should be easy with just 2 bolts, which I think overall it is. The difficult part is just getting it out of there, just removing it from there, even though it will be completely separated. So the first thing we're gonna need to do is undo the bolts at the bottom to allow us to lift the engine up, and then we'll work on the bolt on the top. Or maybe I'll work on the top bolt first. That makes sense. I'll work on that top bolt first, and then we'll do the bottom bolts, okay? I'm gonna take my trusty PB Blast and hose down all the nuts. Now, it seems like one of the more direct ways to remove the top bolt from the driver's side one, if you look down through here, all right, right there, you see it? That right there is the top of the driver's side motor mount. And so just running maybe 3 extensions with a wobble on the end will give you direct access to that to be able to take that off. All right, so I fished together some of my extensions, and I have a wobble on the end down here, and I have a 22, although I wonder if it's a 21, but I think the 22 is gonna work. And so I'm gonna go down from the top and get it on there and see if I can get that off. All right, so I was able to get it. And I used a 21 millimeter in the end. So it is off, and I'll be able to easily get the bolt off from being down there. All right, so there it is. I'm just gonna reach in and get the nut off. There we go, off. All right, so now I'm going to remove the one off the top of the passenger side. All right, go to the passenger side. And if we look down here, right from the top, you see that pulley right there? You can see right behind that pulley is the nut, is the bolt nut that we need to take off. You see it? Taking my trusty extension again with the 21 millimeter deep socket on there. There we go. And time to screw it off. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Down there and grab it off of there. go. All right, both top bolts. All right, getting the bolts underneath is going to be the easy one. So you have your rail right here. As you can see, let's see, give you a reference point. There is your catalytic converter. So we're moving towards the front of the car. Here you go, right here. There's your hole right there. You can see it right up in there. So that's real easy to get to for the driver's side. And now we're going to go over to the passenger side. And it's the same over here as well. Real easy. There we go, right there. So that's what we're going to remove next. All right, so now that we have all the bolts out, the engine is free to be able to be lifted up. So what we're going to do, we're going to put it up underneath here. This is the oil pan right here, and it's aluminum, so we don't want to just jack it up freely with our jack. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a piece of wood and put it on top of the floor jack, position it good, and then just start jacking her up. Let's check and see if that's high enough. All right, so it appears to be a bit stuck to the top of the motor. The motor mount seems to be stuck to the engine side. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to get something and try to hit it down from the top to try to, it's probably just a little crud built up there. So I wasn't able to get the motor mount to drop. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the nuts back on from the bottom side and then lift up the engine so that the weight, well, the theory is that it will release from the top of the engine as the engine's being lifted up, but it's staying in one spot. All right, so that did it. I'm not sure if you can tell. I'll try to get the light in there for you guys just right. There is the motor mount, and you see the top of the motor mount bracket is now there's a gap in between there. So now I can remove the bolt back from the bottom and see if we can get this thing out of here. All right, let's take a look at it over here from the passenger side and see if we can get that one out first. As you can see, it's out of the hole. And I'll see if I can do this by keeping as much. All right, let's see. Oh, it's out. I'm gonna drop it down from the top. Just drop it on out to the ground. There we go. And there is the mount from the passenger side. So that's the easy one. Now the difficult side to get the driver's side. All right, so to get this out, what we're gonna try, we're gonna take the bolt out up here, and to drop this on out, drop this spindle on forward, and we're going to pop the the CV axle out from the tranny side or the differential side, and see by moving that CV axle out of the way a bit, can we get it out of there? Okay, let's give it a try. All right, I had a little deviation because the bolt on the nut on there wouldn't come off. Well, it came down most of the way and then it just stopped. I think I should have did a better job of cleaning off that rust out at the end. I think it just got all caught up on that. So I ended up having to cut it off because I don't know if you can see that, the hole underneath where you would put your bit in to hold it from spinning, that stripped out. So I had to cut the nut off, and let's see here. This is kind of, look at that. I think it's probably time to change that out anyway. So I'll order a new set from Rock Auto, and I'll change this out. As you can see, that the whole strut will have to come out because it'll be impossible to get that bolt out against the wall here. So the whole strut will have to come out in order to replace that, which is normally a quick and easy job. So back to the task at hand. So now I'm going to take my pickle fork and go up in there and pull and separate the CV axle out from the transfer case. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that right here. It's where the CV axle is going in. So I'm gonna take my pickle fork and I'm going to just put my pickle fork on the end of there. Take my sledgehammer on the other end and persuade it to come out. There we go. So now it's out of there. There we go. All right, next I'm gonna go over here behind the sway bar link, and you see this right here. I believe that's I'm not sure what hose that's for, but I just want to take that 10 millimeter bolt out so I can drop it down a little bit to give me a little extra room. All right, so there's the CV axle out of the way, hopefully. And dropping that hose down, maybe pick me up 1/4 of an inch. So I don't know if it's gonna do any good. So I'm gonna see if it'll let me get it out of there. Cross my fingers. That's all you can do. All right, as you can see, it's on the angle. It's out of there. Now, let's see if it let me take it out of there. That's the thing. And there it is. It's out, folks. Look at that. Oh, man, that's nice. I am not complaining at all. All right, let's get this puppy changed. Put the new ones in. All right, before putting in new ones, I thought I'd show you guys how bad this one is. You see that? Look at that. That's bad. So, it goes up and down. That's the engine going vroom, vroom, vroom. All the fluid is out of there, so the vibrations from the engine was coming right through the body, and me feeling it in the seats and the steering wheel. So, I'm happy to see it was that bad because it makes me feel better about changing it. To help out with any future replacements, put a bit of anti-seize on there. Pretty decent amount on the top and bottom. And now I'll put the heat shield on and we'll set her back up in there. All right, for whatever reason, this one is a bit taller, or at least the bolt here is a bit taller than the previous one. So I can't get it under there. I have the engine up as high as it can go, and it's just not getting in there. It's just on a slight angle, and it won't go underneath the bracket to get into the hole. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go ahead, because most of this is sticking up out of there. So it's a lot of excess. So I'm going to trim off maybe a bit more than 1/4 inch. And then we'll make sure I can get the nut on there. You know, the threads aren't messed up, or retap it if I need to. And then I'll get it on in there. All right, that right there is what I cut off. That's what I got remaining. And I just want to make sure that the nut will screw on there, which it does. All right. And again, that was all sticking out through the other end, so it wasn't like it was part of the nut that was actually going to be a part of the bolt that was going to be around the nut. All right. All right, the driver's side is on. Now I'm about to do the passenger side. I put some NTCs on both ends as well. And just to make sure you guys know, this fat metal side, that's the bottom. And you see the smaller side is up top, all right? Bottom, top, all right? All right, now that one is now in place, ready to drop the engine down. This is the passenger side one. And again, I was just able to slide that one in straight from the top, going straight down. See your battery post there, and not the battery, but the post to go for the to give yourself a jump or whatever. All right, so yep, so you see you can do that straight from the top. Before lowering the engine, I'm gonna go ahead and put the CV axle back in. Make sure all the wires are where they're supposed to be at. Nothing is gonna get pinched as I let the engine down, all right? All right, so the engine is lowered back down. All the bolts are back in. So this right here was a good done deal right here. It wasn't as bad as everyone talked about. I suggest you guys give it a try on your own. And stay tuned. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be doing a few other things. Of course, I got to change out that upper control arm, remember, because it was a little bit stripped when I took it out. Plus the ball joint was bad anyway. So if you like, hit the like button. Definitely go on down there, hit that subscribe button, and keep track of all the changes I'm going to be doing on here. As you can see, there's going to be a few things going on here. You guys enjoy. Thanks for joining.